Ladies and gentlemen, boy. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant IB. Back again. Okay, views on the news, and documentation of just the further decline of just the U.S. period at the hands of the new um, feminist feministic minded society that is forcefully being pushed on men. And let's keep this real. Let's keep this real. There's a lot of females that don't want this either. They like their men being real men. All right. And I don't care what you have to say about Donald Trump. I don't care how much you don't like him because of his political leanings. The only reason I kept telling y'all he was going to be good for the country because this is a real man. This is a real man. He is not a politician. I keep trying to tell people this. So you cannot treat a real man like a politician because you come at him, he's coming back at you. All right. You punch me in the face, I'm going to assume, and this is literally my mindset, because I don't mess with people like that. Wait a minute. Parry that thought for a minute. I do not mess with people like that for somebody to have a reason to punch me in the face. Every fight where I got punched in the face first, that person paid for it. Some people pay for it more dearly than others. All right. I never started a fight in my life. I finished them, but I never started them. All right. Because I came up old school where somebody, punches you, you fight back. They put a circle around you. You had like all the adults were the referees, and that's the way it was. And then when somebody cried uncle or whatever, or the adults thought it was enough, they pulled you apart and everybody went their separate ways. The mamas and the fathers did not then fight over the children. Wow, think about those days. Y'all, think about this for a minute. When I was growing up, and I'm pretty sure most of us did, we got into fights. What happened was the community, when they start the fight develop, encircled the two combatants, so to speak. They cheered for their person. Well, let's say some of the times it wasn't cheers. It was, you better not let him do this. You better fight back. You better fight back. This is what it was. But there was a circle of adults, the opposing parents. No, they did not jump in. As a matter of fact, what you never saw, I never seen this in any of my fights, is the two parents fighting with the children. Never saw that. There was a time where I was in a store. I'm going somewhere with this. And a dude punched me in the face after he won a video game because I said, well, I'm not that good because I'm not here playing this every day. All right. And so next thing you know, I had him on the ground, pounded him in the face. His brother jumped in. So my brother came down and jumped in. All right. This thing then went to the outside. Again, then the circle came. And then me and the original dude, we just fought it out until we just got tired of fighting, or I don't know, it just ended, right? It ended because when we was stood up and he couldn't sneak me, he couldn't hit me. And they were like, oh, he a boxer, he a boxer. My brother will remember that because when he hit his brother, I think the other boy's sister heard that hit from upstairs in the projects. All right. So that's what happened. And so what happened was it kind of raised real men. We know who to fight, when to fight, but you just can't come pick with us and think nothing is going to happen to you. Trump, a little older, grew up in kind of the same thing. Grew up around things and he made his business with Teamsters. he politically schmoozed with everybody. When he was running for president, I want y'all to understand this. When the dude was running for president, and this should tell you the mentality of this man, M-A-N, man. When he was running for president, they tried to clown him by saying he donated money to the Democratic Party. And he said, hell yeah, I did. Because I'm a businessman. It's what I do. Such blatant, in your face honesty. The reporter did not know how to handle that. This is why this guy gained favor with so many men. What really made my channel big at that time was I watched the first Republican debate during the primaries. I saw what he did to Jeb Bush, and I said that guy's going to be the president. Okay, so where am I going with this? I'm trying to get y'all inside the head of this guy so that you can understand the title of which has happened. Now, understand this political outcry. These political outcries are from politicians. And I'm not sure we can call many of those men with some of the laws that they passed against men. We're talking about the Republicans and the Democrats. So their man card is questionable. So they would have this kind of outcry. But as we look at this guy here, the guy that made his businesses, that was brutally honest to reporters during his run, who said in their face when they tried to get him, haha, you donated to Clinton. He said, hell yeah, I did, because I'm a businessman and that's what we do. Then you got to understand that this dude just does what he thinks a man should do. This dude has always gone back after the people who came after him first, like we used to do back in the day. Nobody could hit us and just walk away, period. That's why these women are so out of control now, because they talk to simps, no matter how big they are, who's mentally weak, whose mamas raised them to never ever hit a woman for any reason. So these women get to hit, stab, pick up weapons, do everything. And the dude's like, oh, I'm going to just wait for the police. I'm not that guy. And since I know the police are coming for me first, you know, it might not end up the way that people like. All right, but I would never mess with nobody first. In politics, they don't have no such rules. So what happened? Nancy Pelosi decided that she is going to try to prevent Trump using Nancy Pelosi first. Let me explain politics to you for those of you that don't know. Donald Trump did not shut down the government because the president cannot shut down the government. What the president could do after it's shut down, he could do things and make negotiations and sign a bill to have it reopened. right? Now, until he signs whatever that the Democrats hand him, he could choose not to reopen the bill, the government. All right. So basically, if he does not sign the spending bill, right, the government can't reopen. Well, why the spending bill? Why is it that the spending bill closes down the government? Because the House of Representatives controls the purse for all of the United States, which means the head of the House of Representatives, which is the Speaker of the House, which is usually always going to be the majority leader, controls whether the government stays open or is shut down or works without the spending bill being signed. Trump decided not to sign the spending bill because, there's no money for the wall in it. All right. Now, the Democrats have convinced a whole bunch of ignorant black folk that's going to get their jobs taken by the people that they actually want in the country. And I went over that before when we did the numbers about the abortion, right? The Afro community is now at 12% because the black woman in the African community has aborted 22 million to 50 million potential voters. All right, she's eliminated from 1/4, from 1/4 to 1/3 of the Afro population, what would be the Afro population. And until we recover those numbers, well, we're going into extinction. And everybody sees this because the black woman is not having babies from good men. We'll get into another video about that, about apologies, right? They're having them from the bottom 20%, the thugs, the dregs, and stuff, who are not able to take care of the children, who are not able to train the children. So they're not politically savvy. So there is no political power. Now, black women may tell you that they're the political power. They're only the political power in states where it's primarily black people in the community and not even smart ones. All right? Because they run the community into the ground. And everybody is watching this from the outside and understanding that the so-called African American community do not have the numbers to be a viable source for an election. So they need the wall not be built. They need illegal immigrants to come over, have babies, to be legal immigrants, so that the Democratic Party may have somewhat of a future, because no one else votes in a block like black people, which means you don't have to do anything for them, because no matter what the Democrats do, they will still get most of the votes. Everybody else is split, independent, because they realize that's where the power is. People will come visit you when they know you're independent. This is what make New Hampshire so important, Iowa so important. Swing states are swing states like Ohio and Pennsylvania because they could go either way based on how they think you're treating the country. Not with black folks. The political situations look at them as brain dead, that like zombies will always do the same thing over and over again, no matter how disastrous it is to them or their community. All right. So they need these people. They need to force this narrative that they're for these people. Hence the wall argument. The Republicans, on the other hand, they have a different political strategy. True conservatism, putting America first, whatever you want that to mean, It means something to their base. Wait a minute. It means something to everybody that's tired of being SH on by the Democrats or the political parties. This is why a non-political person got elected. So, and secretly might get elected again, right? So, they're doing everything in their power to make sure they stifle this man. Only this man ain't taking it laying down, right? So, in order to have the State of the Union, it has to be signed off on by the House, which is the leader of the House, which is the Speaker, and the Senate. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Vice President leads the Senate. He doesn't vote, though, unless there's a tie. But he is considered, quote unquote, the leader of the Senate. All right. Now, there's a brief lesson on politics or government, how the United States government run. So this is what happened. President Trump's decision Thursday to deny House Speaker Nancy Pelosi military aircraft for an overseas trip, seemingly in response to her request that he delay upcoming State of the Union address, drew sharp reaction from both Democrats and Republicans. That's because both the Democrats and the Republicans care nothing about the community. They care nothing about what this one. Here's the thing. They do not care whether one of their own takes the State of the Union on one of the most important things for, government, even though we know it's like a BS mumble jumble, but it's one of the most important dog and pony shows, right? And you're going to hold that hostage. So y'all expected this man not to do something in return? So as a real man who was attacked first on something that's supposed to happen every year, all right, who is not a politician, who don't like when people don't do what's supposed to happen to try to, make him look bad or force an issue that he strongly stands for, he just decide, okay, no military aircraft. Okay, so in a letter to Pelosi, the president postponed the trip just minutes before the congressional delegation was set to depart. The excursion would be rescheduled following the end of the partial government shutdown, he said. Understand this is exactly what she did to him. And the problem with the Republicans that are like up in arms with this, along with the Democrats, is it's okay for a woman to do it to the man, but the man cannot return the favor. All right. And so, in light of this, the 800,000 great American workers not receiving pay, I'm sure you would agree that postponing this public relations event is totally appropriate. And he calls it a public relations event because it's not a really important event. And it is a public relations event, Trump wrote. I also feel that during this period, it would be better if you were in Washington negotiating with me and joining the strong border security movement to end the shutdown. Boy, this is nice. Okay, y'all are seeing this as a bunch of political stuff, but I'm seeing it as a man finally standing up to these wicked women. All right. And so Pelosi renews call to delay the State of the Union. And Trump says the Democrats are hijacked by the fringe. He gave Pelosi the option of flying commercially. Whoa! Like she gave him an option, he gave her an option. He goes, obviously, if you would like to make your journey by flying commercially, that would certainly be your prerogative, Trump wrote. All right, so Lindsey Graham, he a supporter of the administration, admonished both Trump and Pelosi for their actions, tweeting, "One sophomore response does not deserve another." And I'm saying, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Boy, this is so funny. This is, woo, Lord. Oh, Lord have mercy. They go on this quote. Speaker Pelosi's threat to cancel the State of the Union is very irresponsible and blatantly political, Graham continued. Trump denying Speaker Pelosi's military to travel to visit our troops in Afghanistan, our allies in Egypt and NATO is also inappropriate. But she ain't gonna get to do it. Oh my goodness, this is great. Oh my goodness, this is funny. Y'all, politics can be funny. It can be hilarious. It can be really hilarious. But anyway, I'm going to put the link to this in the description box. Okay. Let me see. And I even opened my thing. Oh, I got some people in here. Hey, y'all, this is going to be short. Okay, it's 203. Dang, that's a hell of a link. Got to find 3 spaces. Dang, really? Let's see if this works. See if y'all can hit it with that link. Okay, yeah, y'all can hit it with that link. And I'm gonna put the entire link in the description box, okay? Um man, bon dia. Bon dia. Um man, so we got a real man in there who's tired of people effing with men. And I am so glad for it. All right, y'all. Peace out. I'm out. Don't forget to check my description box. Like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. Right? After that, my PayPal me to donate to what this channel does in the community and to this channel, it will be in the description box. Please click on and donate. But remember, you always take care of yourself and home first before you give anybody any of your money. Period. That includes me, especially me. Because for people that give large sums, and there have been some, they'll let you know. I question them before I really accept it. Right? Because I want to make sure that we take care of ourselves first and foremost before we give money to anybody. And that is even include to me. Even though I help the children, this, that, and the other. No, you take care of your first self first, right? I help people because I take care of myself. I take care of my home, my bills, my rent first. All right. And then from out of my abundance, then I take care of everybody else. All right. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll holler at y'all on the next bit. I got another one coming up.